Boker Tov. As I said before, you can see that this recording is taking place on Sukkot, and it's going to be for Parshat Lecha. B'chol ofen, if you hear a little bit of noise, I hope it won't interfere with what we say. The Ghemara Masechet Avoda Zara says that the world is divided into like three epochs. The first 2,000 years were known as years of Hevel, of emptiness. And then after those 2,000 years comes 2,000 years of Torah. And then the last 2,000 years are the 2,000 years of Yemot HaMashiach. And then the world comes to an end. The Ghemara says that the world it's going to be for 6,000 years. We're actually getting very close to the end. And then the seventh millennium is, of course, a different type of world completely when Mashiach comes. Now, the Ghemara says that when did those 2,000 years of Torah start? The Ghemara says they started off with Abraham when he was 52 years old. And from the time that he started to teach Torah, that's when the 2,000 years of Torah started. It's based on what the Torah says, that Abraham Avinu went to Eretz Israel, and he took with him those people, and the Fashot Asher Asu b'Charan, the people that he created in Haran. In other words, the people that he drew closer to monotheism, to Torah, and that is when the Tkufa of the Torah started off, from the time that he taught Torah. Now, I'd like to explain this on the basis of what we say every single morning, the birkat of the Torah, the bracha of the Torah. Now, in the Shulchan Aruch, it tells us that we don't make a bracha of the Torah when we think of Torah, but we only make a bracha of Torah when we actually say the words of Torah. And that's how the bracha is. Baruch atah Hashem Nikon Nechonam Hashem Kishon V'Totanu La'asok B'divrei Torah, like the words of Torah. But thinking of Torah doesn't warrant a bracha. And yet the Shulchan Aruch says later on, he says that if a person writes Divrei of Torah, he writes Torah, so then it requires that he makes a birkat Torah beforehand. All the commentators on the Shulchan Aruch says it's a contradiction, because writing Torah is really thought. There's no verbal expression of Torah. So why did the Shulchan Aruch say that for thinking you don't make a birkat Torah, and for writing, which you do say a birkat Torah? And the Aruch HaShulchan gives a marvelous, incredible explanation to this seeming contradiction in the Shulchan Aruch. And what we have here is a definition of what actually Torah means. The Aruch HaShulchan says that the essence of Torah is Hashem's revelation of His knowledge and will in this world. And therefore when we learn Torah, we've got an obligation to understand what Hashem wants from us, and also to spread that knowledge, that will of Hashem into the world. The essence of Torah then is revelation. And that's why the Shulchan Aruch says when a person thinks of the words of Torah, that's Torah, but it's not proper Torah. It's not the Torah as we want it, because the Torah is not revealed. The person has begun to grasp what Hashem wants, but as long as it's not revealed on the outside, so then that is lacking in the definition of what the true Torah is. On the other hand, when a person writes Divrei Torah, so those words of Torah then are now already revealed in the world. But the highest form and the highest level of revelation is when a person speaks and interacts with others. And that's why the Ghemara in Masechet Avoda Zara is saying that when did the world of Torah start? It was from the time that Abraham Avinu didn't think for himself, but he convinced others, he interrelated with others, he spoke to others. When he taught others, that's when the real dimension of Torah came into being, and that's why we consider the 2,000 years of Torah as starting from the time that Abraham, at the age of 52, that he started to spread Torah through speaking to others. This is what the true meaning of Torah means, to reveal the will of Hashem, not only to ourselves, but to the world at large. Shabbat Shalom.